I would first like to apologize for not being able to be in Sarajevo with you today for this very important conference on the future of the public sector broadcaster of Bosnia and Herzegovina, BHRT. Then I would like to thank the organizers of the conference for putting this issue under the spotlight, as BHRT needs urgent help. You who are participating in this event probably are well aware of the seriousness of the situation, of the fact that being deprived of stable financing for many years now, BHRT is on the verge of shutdown. When I became standing rapporteur of the European Parliament for Bosnia and Herzegovina in 2014, the situation was already very serious and unfortunately has gone from bad to worse. As I understand, that BHRT is today unable to pay salaries or honor contractual obligations towards technical and program suppliers, not to mention utility bills and accumulating debts. In the 3 reports that I have drafted so far for the European Parliament, the issue of public service broadcaster was systematically included in the paragraph dealing with freedom of the media. In 2015, it was underlined that stable and sustainable financing, editorial independence, broadcasting in all official languages, and pluralism are essential to public service media. In 2016, we called for the editorial independence and financial stability of the public service broadcasters to be enhanced in view of the significance of the existence of a public service broadcaster for the unity of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Finally, this year's resolution adopted in February 2017 is more direct and reflecting also the worsening situation, calls on the Bosnian and Herzegovina authorities to undertake urgent measures to save the public service media from collapse, and calls again for ensuring the independence and financial stability of the public service broadcasters. As you can see, the European Parliament is following closely the situation of the public service broadcaster. Last year, we even had a session of the Foreign Affairs Committee Working Group on Western Balkans with representatives from EBU to discuss more in depth the situation and see how we can help. I have personally met regularly with representatives from EBU to follow the latest evolutions and raised the issue with the authorities in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The reasons that led us to get involved are quite easy to understand. The continued existence and operation of BHRT is a matter that is important for the European path of Bosnia and Herzegovina. To put it simply, the idea of a future member state of the EU without public service media is unthinkable. It is as much an issue of European law as it is an issue pertaining to the democratic character of the country. As you know, the Treaty on European Union, through the so-called Amsterdam Protocol number 29, recognizes that independent public service media is an essential element for every EU member state. It recognizes, furthermore, that the system of public broadcasting in the member states is directly related to the democratic, social and cultural needs of each society and to the need to preserve media pluralism. Indeed, public sector broadcasters play in Europe a fundamental and unique democratic, social and economic role. They are a vehicle for affirming European values, strengthening cultural diversity and drivers of pluralism in the entire media system. Public service broadcasters are also seen as essential for the development of a strong and participatory democracy in countries such as Bosnia and Herzegovina, where democratic practices are not yet well established. Finally, we in the European Parliament care about the fate of BHRT because we see it as an essential element for the cohesion of the country. All the reasons that I have listed here should lead the authorities to take decisive action. It is for me an issue of political responsibility for the authorities of a country which aspires to join the EU. A solution must be urgently found, a comprehensive and lasting solution, one that addresses all the problems in a coherent manner and not again through a piecemeal or temporary approach that will only prolong the agony of the public service media. A lot of experts are gathered in Sarajevo today to try to stimulate reflection and find pathways for solving the problem. Obviously, it is not up to me to find a solution. As I said, it is the duty of the authorities. But I would like to stress 2 points that are important from the EU perspective. The first one is the need to secure stable and adequate financing. The second one is the necessity to preserve the editorial and operational independence of the public service broadcasters. The two aspects are of course linked, but the latter aspect is particularly important. Indeed, there is a temptation for governments, including in Europe, to create, instead of independent broadcasting services run by professionals in the interest of the public, their own propaganda machinery. This should, of course, be avoided, as public broadcasting can influence a country's values and citizens. I hope that today's conference will generate enough impetus for the authorities to act swiftly. I hope a solution will be found without unnecessary politicization of the issue, as Bosnia and Herzegovina simply cannot afford to lose its public service broadcasters.